Namaste everyone, I'm Elisa and I would like to guide you through a intermediate full body yoga flow today. This yoga flow will be a Mandala Vinyasa style, which means two things. First of all, I encourage you to use your Ujjayi breath, which is the oceanic sound of breathing that I will instruct you to do at the beginning of the practice. And second of all, Mandala means that we are gonna turn around 360 degrees around our mat. So at some points of the practice you will be facing the back side of the room and the sideways of the room. So it can be a little bit tricky finding your pace and your place on the mat. So that is why this is an intermediate yoga flow. To make this practice easier for you guys, I would encourage you to place your mat perpendicular to the floor. So as my mat is facing the long side of the screen, your mat will be facing short side towards the screen. I think that will be about it, about today's practice. I think we can start coming into our mat. Namaste everyone. Let's start our practice today with our seated position, fanning our legs cross-legged and closing our eyes, tuning in to our breath. Observe your natural pace of breathing, observing the quality of the inhales and the quality of your exhales. See whether your breath is deep or shallow. See whether you are using the whole capacity of your lungs, or maybe just moving the upper parts of your lungs. If so, try to deepen your breath so the oxygen lands in the bottom parts of your lungs. For this practice, I encourage you to use the Ujjayi breath. And with closed lips, long Ujjayi exhale. And you can open your eyes. We are gonna start this practice with some sun salutations. So please come to the front of your mat with your feet together. All four corners of your feet are touching the floor. Toes are spread, your legs are active, your kneecaps are shifting upwards, your thighs are together, quadriceps are active, also shifting upwards. Your tailbone is tucked and you try to neutralize the natural curvatures of your spine. You activate your arms, you activate your spine, aligning them in one strong line. With an inhale, bring your hands up, look over your hands. With your exhale, fold forward and down, chin towards your knees. With an inhale, straighten your spine, look forward, fingers go up onto the mat. Exhale, step or jump into plank, lower down into your Chaturanga Dandasana. With an inhale, unroll your toes, bring your torso up into upward facing dog. With your exhale, tuck your toes and place your feet flat on the ground. into your downward facing dog. Take 5 deep inhales and relaxing 5 exhales. Keep drawing your pubic bone underneath, tucking your tailbone. Your hips are facing up towards the sky. Arms are active. Your biceps can roll upwards and your triceps can fall downwards. 2 more breaths. With your next inhale, step to the front of your mat. Find yourself in your forward fold. Exhale. On your inhale, bring your arms and torso up to the sky. On your exhale, release your hands down. One more time, inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, straighten your spine, look forward. Exhale, step into plank and lower down 90-degree angle in your arms, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, untuck your toes, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes back into downward facing dog. Take 5 deep Ujjayi breaths. You can keep your knees bent if you have trouble with your hamstrings. That's okay if they are not there yet, if they are not flexible enough. Just keep your knees bent. 3 more breaths. Keep your toes and fingers spread. The spine is straight and aligned. And 1 more breath. And with an inhale, step forward. With an exhale, fold forward and down. 1 more inhale, bring your torso and arms up, look towards your hands. Exhale, hands down. Now we are gonna do 2 sun salutations B. So these are a little bit more complicated, a little bit more intense and warming up. We're gonna start with inhale, bending our knees into chair pose, Utkatasana. On an exhale, fold forward and down, Uttanasana. On an inhale, straighten your spine, look forward. On an exhale, step or jump into plank and Chaturanga Dandasana. On an inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna bring our right leg up, step it between our hands, placing our left foot 45-degree angle, bringing our torso and arms up into Warrior One. Exhale, frame your front foot, stepping back into plank and Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. On the next inhale, bring your left leg up, step it between your hands. Right foot comes 45-degree angle. Bring your torso and arms up into Warrior One on the left side. On an exhale, frame your front foot, step it back into plank and Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 5 deep breaths. Keep your feet hip-width distance apart. And keep your shoulders away from your ears. 3, 4, and 5. Step your right foot front, left foot meets the front. Straighten your spine. Exhale, fold forward and down, Uttanasana. On an inhale, bend your knees, bring your torso up. into chair pose. Exhale, extend your legs, bring your arms down into Tadasana. Inhale, bend your knees, chair pose. Exhale, straighten your legs into Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or jump into plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up, step it between your hands into Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, frame your front foot, step it back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your left leg up, step it between your hands, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, frame your front foot, step it back into plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're gonna stay here and we're gonna start our warrior series with an inhale. Bring your right leg up, step it between your hands, place your back leg 45-degree angle, and with an inhale bring your torso up into a warrior 1. Our hips are facing the short side of our mat, so our hips are closed, they are not open like in our warrior 2. We are facing the front side of our mat with our chest, arms are extended, hands are firmly pressing onto each other. 3 breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. After our next exhalation, we are gonna open our hips facing towards the back of the room. And we are going into our warrior 2 position, furthering our stance, lowering our arms down into shoulder height. We are looking over our right hand, keeping our both legs active. Front knee is not falling to the inside, to the midline of our mat, but rather opening out onto the side. Stay here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3, and with the next inhale, bring your torso up. On an exhale, bring your hands down onto your chest, bend your knees into goddess pose. Inhale up, 5-pointed star. Exhale down into goddess pose. Inhale one more time. And with an exhale, turn your legs to the opposite side of the room. Release your hands to the shoulder height. Find your warrior 2 on the opposite side. Stay here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. On an inhale, we're gonna close our hips back into our warrior 1, facing both hips to the short side of the mat. Bringing our arms up into warrior 1 on the opposite side. front knee is not falling into the midline of the mat, but it's opening towards the side. 1, 2, and 3. Frame your front leg, step your left foot back into plank and lower down into your chaturanga. On an inhale, bring your torso up. On an exhale, tuck your toes, find yourself in your downward facing dog. Take one deep inhale and long Ujjayi exhale. On the next inhalation, lower down into your plank pose. We are gonna start our plank series, strengthening our core, strengthening our back muscles, straightening our shoulders and arms. Take 5 deep inhalations and 5 long exhalations in your plank. 1, 2. Try to keep your tailbone tucked. Your core is active. 2, 3. Keep your body in one nice long straight line. 4 and 5. We are gonna move ourselves onto the one side of our feet, bringing ourselves into side plank on the right side, opening our left hand up, looking towards the sky, keeping our oblique muscles active, and staying here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Try to lift up your core muscles even a bit higher. 4 and 5. Release your left hand down. Change the position of your feet and open your right arm up, finding your side plank on the opposite side. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your upper hand down. And with an exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. You can walk out your dog, stretching one leg at a time. And from here we're gonna take one deep inhale with our right leg, bringing up towards the sky, finding ourselves in our 3-legged dog. And with an exhale, we're gonna step our right foot between our hands. Left foot is 45-degree angle, or actually no, it's the heel is up from the ground. And we're gonna bring our torso and hands up into high lunge. The weight of our legs is flat on our front foot, and on our back leg, the weight of our leg is on the ball of our foot. And we are staying in our nice high lunge for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. After our last exhalation, we're gonna lower our left hand to the front, right hand towards the back of our mat. So we make a spinal twist of our torso, looking over our right hand, finding our twisted high lunge. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. After last exhalation, we're gonna cartwheel our arms, releasing our right hand on the outside of our left thigh muscles, extending our left arm overhead, finding our twisted and reversed warrior. Staying here for 5 breaths, keeping both our legs active. Front knee is 90-degree angle, not falling to the midline of the mat. 3 and 4 and 5. On an inhale, bring your arms back up into a shoulder height. Take one deep exhale here. And on an inhale, rotate your torso back up into high lunge. And on an exhale, bring your feet parallel to each other, facing the front side of the room. And on an exhale, again, bend your knees, find your goddess pose. On an inhale, bring your arms up, clasp them together over your head. On an exhale, bend your knees into goddess pose. One more time, inhale. And exhale, goddess pose. One more time, inhale. And on an exhale, we're gonna rotate our feet so we are facing the primer front side of the room. And from here, we are gonna bend our front leg and extend our back leg, fully stretching our psoas muscles. Very beneficial posture for seating lifestyle when we spend long hours seated by our desk. This is a great practice, great exercise to strengthen our psoas muscles. And one more breath here. And after exhale, we're gonna lower now our front hand to the front side of the room and our left hand to the back side of the room, twisting our torso, twisting our spine to finally look over our left hand, finding our twisted high lunge. Staying here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On the next inhalation, we are gonna rotate our front hand up. And on an exhale, cartwheel your arms, release your left hand onto the outside of your right thigh muscles. Extend your right arm overhead into reversed twisted warrior. Keep your both legs active. The weight of your body is evenly spread between your both legs. Stay here for 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4 long ujjayi breaths. And 5. On an inhale, we're gonna cartwheel our arms. And we're gonna bring our arms and hips again to face the front of our mat. And on an exhale, we are gonna frame our front foot, step the left foot back, and lower down into chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. And on an exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Stay in your downward facing dog for one more deep inhale. And with an exhale, lower down again into your plank pose. This time we are gonna lower down into our forearms, one forearm at a time. Staying here for one deep inhale and long exhale. And from here we're gonna bring ourselves up into high plank, one arm at a time. And staying here for one deep inhale and one deep exhale. And repeating one more time, lower down your one forearm and lower down your other forearm. Stay here for one breath. And bring your torso up, straightening your right hand and straightening your left hand. One deep breath. And with an exhale, lower down your knees. Bring your knees to the mat width distance apart. Extend your arms in front of you and find yourself in your child's pose. Calm down your breath here. Lengthen your spine and allow every exhale to melt down your torso and melt down your chest. A bit lower with every next exhalation. One more deep inhale and long Ujjayi exhale. Next inhalation, we are gonna go back again into our tabletop position and straighten our legs, finding ourselves back in our downward facing dog. Now we are gonna go into some spinal twists, bringing our right hand to touch the left ankle. We are trying to rotate our torso, so to find the spinal twist in our variation of three-legged dog. We are staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your right hand back to the mat and switch positions. Bring your left hand to touch the right outside of your ankle, looking over towards the sky, trying to place the crown of your head onto the mat. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your left hand back into your downward facing dog, lower down into plank and into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and on an exhale, gonna stay here. And to continue with our torso twists, our spinal twists, we are gonna shift our hips from side to side, so to lengthen the obliques, our side muscles of our core. And we go back to the center and switching the sides, we are keeping our shoulders far away from the ears, so not to hunch down with our shoulders. Going back to the center. And 2 more times, stretching our side muscles, our left side of the rib cage. Going back to the center. And stretching the right side of our rib cage. Come back to the center. And tuck your toes. Push away from your hands. Find yourself back again in your downward facing dog. Take 1 deep inhale. And on an exhale, we're gonna come into seated, bringing our knees to cross. And with the same flowing movement, we are gonna extend our legs in front of us, finding our boat pose, Navasana. If we feel like our core is strong enough, we may release our hands, but if you want to, we can still keep the support of our legs by holding them down gently. And we are gonna stay here for 5 deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, try to keep your calves parallel to the mat. 2, and 1. Bring your knees to cross, bring your hips slightly above the mat, lower them down, and bring yourself back again into Navasana. This time you can challenge yourself and straighten your legs. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Break your legs down, cross them over, and bring your hips up and down. And extend your legs for 1 last round of Navasana. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your legs, bring your hands to the front of the mat, extend your legs, and lower down into Chaturanga. And upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 1 deep inhale. And on an exhale, step or jump into a lying down position. Lower down with your body and bring your knees to hug them close to your chest. Massaging the spine. And from here we're gonna continue some leg stretches. We're gonna stretch the hamstrings. So we're gonna extend our right leg up and lower our left leg down so that it hovers above the floor very slightly. And we continue stretching our upper leg by either keeping our hands onto our calf muscle or onto our sole of the foot. If it's difficult to reach our right foot, we can use a belt or use a towel to extend the length of our arms. And we just stay here with our left leg hovering above the floor, keeping this steady pressure on our right leg, allowing it to lengthen its back muscles, lengthen its hamstrings, and lengthen its calf muscles. 1 more breath. And after this exhalation, we're gonna switch sides, bringing our right leg down and extending our left leg up. And again, we're not doing here much movement, just bringing this steady pressure of our ball of the foot onto our hands or onto our belt or towel. At the same time, we are stretching our right psoas muscle. Stay here for one more deep breath. And after exhalation, we're gonna switch the sides again. But this time we're gonna bend our right knee to the 90-degree angle and place our right ankle on top of our left knee, finding our figure 4 position. We're trying to keep our pressure onto our left knee. Gently pressing the right ankle against our left knee. We are stretching our gluteus maximus, our buttocks muscles of our right leg. Staying here for one more deep breath. And after next exhalation, we are gonna bring our right leg straight, switching the sides, lowering the right leg down, bringing our left ankle to place it on top of our right knee, interlacing our fingers on top of our right knee, and with a gentle pressure, hands pressing onto the knee, knee pressing onto the foot. We are trying to bring the left ankle closer and to our chest. Staying here for 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna straighten our left leg up, and on an exhale we're gonna lower both of our legs down, finding our comfortable lying down position. And before we close off, we're gonna do last 2 postures. Our Supta Baddha Konasana, placing our feet together, soles of the feet are touching, and we are just releasing the knees down onto the ground, letting our hips open, allowing ourselves to release any tension from our hip muscles, from our legs. Finding space in our tummy and our rib cage. Three more breaths. And very gently we are gonna bring both our knees together, and from here we're gonna hug our knees, extend our arms towards the sides, and lower our knees onto the outside of our mat, bringing our one hand to press more firmly the knees towards the ground, and the opposite hand is opening towards the side. The gaze goes onto that open hand. 5 breaths here. Our lying spinal twist, very juicy and relaxing last pause for this practice. And when you finish, bring your knees up, but only with the strength of your core muscles into your center. And on an exhale, release your knees down onto the opposite side, looking with your gaze to the extended arm. The left arm can press onto your knees, deepening your lying spinal twist. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Only with the strength of your core muscles, bring your knees to center. Hug them closely onto your chest. And as you inhale, bring your both legs and both arms up. And as you exhale, slowly, step by step, release your legs down. Take one last long stretch, trying to lengthen your body as much as possible, imagining like someone is pulling your hands and feet the opposite direction. As you exhale, release all this tension down and find yourself in your Shavasana, your relaxation pose. You can let go of your Ujjayi breath and just come back to observing your natural flow of breathing. Thank your body for all the hard work you've put into your today's practice. Don't try to think about anything else that is outside of this room space, outside of your mat space. Don't look back analyzing the past. And don't try to look forward to plan the future. A few minutes to stay in here and now. If you'd like to stay longer in your Shavasana, please do so. You can pause this video. But if you're ready to wake up, bring some gentle movements into both your feet and your hands. Maybe take one deep inhale and stretch your arms overhead. And with an exhale, use one arm muscles to find yourself lying on the side for one more deep breath. And when you're ready, push up from your hand. Find yourself back in a seated position. Take one last deep inhalation, hands up. And with an exhalation, place your hands onto your chest. Thank you for today's practice. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of it. And leave me any questions in the comments below. And hopefully see you soon in another practice. Namaste.